Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 959 for the 9th of October. So the frontline changes report has already been published. For those that surprised that the SITREP is so early, because I have swapped the timing between the two reports now. Try to mix things up and see whether it does better, because things doesn't seem to be going very well. So anyway, so we're gonna start off with the curse front, and we'll go clockwise direction through the front lines. We're gonna go this direction, and so we're gonna start off with the curse front, the good front. Oh, sorry, my shortcuts. Come on. Okay, over at the Kursk front, the Russians are still on their counteroffensive. So strategically, there is fighting reported over in the Glushkovo sector. The Russians are attacking Novi Put, they're attacking Dorino, they're attacking Lyubimovka. They have captured Pokrovsk, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Ukrainian forces counterattack at Lyubimovka. Russians also allegedly have captured Novaya Storkina, as well as the clashes at Blakovo continues. So we're going to zoom in to take a look at certain places. So there is no more Ukrainian attack being reported here, according to the Russians. There is only the Russian Defense Ministry talking about their attacking of Ukrainian forces at Novi Put. So that's a area here. This mapping is by DivGen. I'm not sure how accurate is this, but the Russian Defense Ministry did announce the capture of Pokrovsk, which I wouldn't have mapped it so bigly if it's up to me. But anyway, the Russians are attacking Lyubimovka and towards Darino at this moment, and the Ukrainians are counter-attacking in the Lyubimovka region. The fighting is within the settlement itself, and the capture of Pokrovsk is very highly publicized within the Russian Defense Ministry Telegram. They actually do an exclusive post on it, showing some videos and whatnot, which I didn't watch. I'm like I said, I'm not pro-Russian, so I'm not so into, like, I'm not simping for them. I'm not going to like watch every single shitty videos that's out there. And then of course we have the announcement of the capture of Novaya Sorokina, and of course this is of course a big problem, because we do not know where the Russians come from. This is by DivGen. This is by a pro-Russian source, which is currently in the process of possibly eliminating from primary sources back to secondary source. This is how they mapped it. They do map that the Ukrainians have firm control over the Olovka region. Based on my way of mapping, I mean, I also not sure where it should come from, because there is no firm grounds, no firm front line that we understood around here. So we're gonna just leave it. I'm gonna leave this as a orange. I forgot. Yeah, this is gonna be disputed as well. Because this is gonna be disputed. I'm gonna leave it as orange until we can resolve this, because DivGen tentatively, I'm on the verge of eliminating them as a primary source. So we shall see how these continue to develop. I did miss this one. The Ukrainians are attacking at Chukaskoye Parasnoye. Oh, sorry, this is actually outdated information. No wonder. Yeah, it should be the wrong color. So, and then clashes at Blakovo continues, which I do not have any information of, any further information. So the Kursk front is getting a bit slow. Despite the two captures, it's just a little bit weird. The information, especially in the northern part. We shall wait and see how, whether we can have proper mappings or information, especially from the official sources, would be the best. Over in the Kharkiv front, Russian forces are attacking Mali Prokody, Lipsy, Staritsia, Voschansk, as well as Taike. So this is pretty normal, I would say. Nothing special about this strategic situation. Over at Voschansk, Russian forces used the thermobaric missiles on Ukrainian positions just off the bridge. So everyone there is dead now, unfortunately, because it's no one can survive the kind of strike. So that's it for this area here. We move into the Kupiansk front. At the Kupiansk front, Russian forces are fighting in the region of Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, Kusherivka, shelling at Kupiansk. We do have the geolocation of Russian thermobaric bomb airstrike on this not say thermobaric bomb. What is it called? Airbus. Not Airbus. I forgot. Yeah, something. No fuel bomb or something like that. So some airstrike over there. Petropavlovka also get missile strike. There's a bridge getting destroyed over there. And the Russians are attacking Stepova Novoselivka region. We have some correction of the front line. This I believe I mentioned before, but the Rybus mapping have basically contradict DivGen's mapping. I decided to go with Rybus mapping, so that basically invalidates the entire claim that the Russians have taken Stepova Novoselivka up to quite a big distance away. So because I think, yeah, I did mention when I first mapped it as quite a big difference. The Russians also did claim to have expanded control around the Tabaivka region. So that's all. That's advanced. Previously, we have the reports of fighting at Tabaivka around 2 days ago. Over in the Pischane front, we have fighting reported towards Novo Osinove, Krylyakivka, Berestove, towards Lozova. So that's all. Doesn't look like a lot of stuff, but no, this is pretty important. And this is mapped by the Russian mapping by Ryba shows that they are getting closer and closer to Krylyakivka. Distance didn't really change much. It's still within 800 meters, 1 kilometer. They are just moving closer and preparing the front line for eventual assault into this area here. So over further south, in the northern part of the Sviatove front, this is Sviatove. The Russian forces are attacking at Andrievka, Vishneve, Zelene High, and Nadia. Information is coming from the Russian and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So there is some kind of major action around this sector. And it looks like the Russians are making this one big arrow push west of Sviatove. So let's see how this goes. Zelene High is mentioned by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So the Russians are indeed moving in the direction towards Borova. So this is the strategic objective. And the reason is the crossing. So leading from Borova, there is a major crossing around here, just off Horokovaka. So that's where why the Borova is so important. So we move to the southern flank of the Sviatove front. There is fighting reported at Novovodyan, Krakivka, Makievka, Nevsky, as well as now a new challenger has come, Katerinivka. So this is the first time we have a report of Katerinivka. This is by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. So the Russians may have made some progress in this direction. That causing the Ukrainians to call a new round being attacked. So, but of course the Katerinivka, I'm quite sure the front line is still very far away. Like they just saying that it's a fighting in the direction, I guess. So let's see how this goes. Over in the Kremina front, this is Kremina. At the Kremina front, Russian forces are fighting at Novosadove, TORETSK, Dibrova, as well as within the Serbianske forestry. So there's nothing changing around here. The main change is over in the Siversk front, where we have extremely complicated mapping around here. So I need to explain because this also looks different from the frontline changes report, because I'm trying to clean up the situation, but I'm going to at least go through the strategic situation right now first. So fighting is reported at Kharkovivka, Serbianka, Verkhamokanyamske, Sperne, Ivano-Darivka, as well as Fedorivka. So this strategically there is fighting in these areas. The problem now, the dispute is where the front line actually is. And as a result of all the confusions and the lack of mapping, reliable mapping, I have decided to put Surya maps back onto the primary sources, also due to popular demand. Previously, I dropped Surya maps because of geolocations seems to be way faster than Surya maps, and his mapping tends to end up lagging behind the geolocations. But lately, even the geolocations are insufficient to keep up with the frontline changes, and the uses of DivGen seems to be really dubious. So I have put Surya maps into the sources so that we can have more references. The problem with Surya maps is that they are also neutral, so I can't say Russian claim or Ukrainian claim. So in the mapping, I just got to put possible Russian progress based on Surya maps information. This is to show neutrality, and so I've changed some of the mapping. So this area here, this is due to geolocation, confirmed Russian presence around here. They at least planted the flag there or raised the flag there. So this at least shows that the Russians have this area here. So this is a confirmed capture area. Even if they are no longer there, it's still captured. That's just how it is, because they left the footprint there, the last person to the left left the footprint. This area here is mapped to be taken by the Russian forces within the Siversk forestry along the Siversk Donetsk River. So these are the confirmed ones. Then the orange one, these are mapping by DivGen. So the problem with this is that DivGen claimed that the Russian forces have made progress all the way into Serbianka. So I not sure. They are the only one, I believe, talk about the fighting at Serbianka. So, and no other sources is talking about this, and they did map it in a very exaggerating way, taking a lot of grounds around here, and this is now in depth. So I'm going to continue to leave this as orange on the mapping until we can have validation or invalidation, corroboration or not. So we kind of have some kind of gauge what the hell is happening and whether DivGen can be trusted in the future. Tentatively, it does look like very low chance that the information is going to be very accurate, but we shall see, because who knows, they have better information than some of our trusted sources. Like Surya Maps is actually a very trusted source. It's just that for mapping purposes, it complicates my work a bit more, since Surya Maps a bit slow sometimes with the updates, and my geolocation work is much faster. So but Surya Maps is a good source to follow him. I also donated to Surya Maps quite a few times, so that's all. Over in the south, so Volkan is even more funny. So the situation here is that lately, so yes, during the frontline changes report, I already explained a lot, so I'm not going to go through again this thing. But Boris Rosin, another of this, so is also known as Colonel Kasat. They have also came out with their statement backing up Ryba as well as Simonov. Simonov is Bruce's inf, which is the call sign Bruce, which is so they are backing up as well that there is overestimation of the mapping. So they also write a lot of things. So he also basically backing Ryba entirely. So now we have three major pro-Russian sources that is disclaiming that there is the capture of Volkan and Kharkovka, especially not Srebrenica. So, which is why it leads me to have to put all this orange, unprecedented. I've never done this before. So this is so just to navigate this complicated intel situation at this moment. So let's talk about DivGen's mapping. So after the alleged capture of Volkan due to this geolocation of the flag, DivGen went on to map this big area as captured by the Russian forces. And this is a very bold claim and is totally disputed by Ryba. Now I'm talking about pro-Russian sources now fighting each other on this information. And I'm not sure how they came to the conclusion that this is all the areas that is captured. There is progress in the area. As mapped by Surya Maps, you can see that the Russian forces have actually taken some big amount of grounds. This is based on Surya Maps mapping. So Surya Maps usually is right. Not always, but usually is right. So this is what Surya Maps have mapped. I can't tell, of course, whether it's accurate or not, because usually, we don't know. Because even Surya Maps have mapped this as captured by the Russian forces previously. And then he detracted and cut it off and then changed it to like this. So which means that he's also a human being, so not just to qualify, like Surya maps basically have mapped exactly as how I have mapped it. We both thought that Russian forces have captured Verkhovno, and now this seems to be a question mark. So I have to change this to a question mark. So now we do not know. So that's why I want to put Surya maps in, because it helps to put yet another perspective onto know what is the actual situation right here. So the next update, you will see that the Russian mapping will be drawn like this. The orange mapping will be left alone as orange, so that we can fact check DivGen's mapping. And so Verkhovno is now not under Russian control. Ukrainian was going to get back the front line around here. So we shall see how this, at least around here, and we'll see how this develop. The same thing will apply for the Kharkivka region as well. So, over the Vimka, due to the geolocation by Crimea Caprice, this entire area is disclaimed by DivGen. And so this is not how Surya maps map this. Surya maps actually map it a bit like this. So there is, despite the geolocation, Surya maps still map it as Russian controlled area. So there is, of course, all these conflicting mappings, which is why I'm here. I'm trying to sieve out and try to verify what the hell is actually happening. So, but whatever it is, Vimka is now definitely under Ukrainian control, because it's heavily heavily not recognized to be under Russian control by pro-Russian sources. So this is a very complicated situation. I believe that the next time you look at the mapping, probably all this will be updated. I think within another 8 to 12 hours time, when I start a new days of mapping, I will clean this up. So now it's very complicated because too many conflicting informations. Everyone have their own version of reality. And otherwise, there's fighting ripple at Fedorivka. Nothing special about this. So and that's it from this area. Thank God. So we move into Bakhmut front. In the northern flank of the Bakhmut front, Russian forces are attacking Minkivka, Kalinina, Chasivya. Geolocation of Russian forces at Kharkivka confirmed the Russian presence in that area. I can zoom in. This actually leads to invalidation of part of the Ukrainian claims, which is actually within this alleged fortifications around here. So small change around here. Over in the southern flank of the Bakhmut front, we have fighting reported at Stupovsky towards what the hell is this? Stupovsky towards Oleksandro-Shutine, Bilahora, and of course we have Dilievka. But there is two Dilievka just next to each other. They are merely less than 4 kilometers apart. Just take it with a pinch of salt which Dilievka it is. But this Dilievka usually is, I map it as part of the New York front, because it is usually reported as part of the Toretsk direction, which is why I map it as this one. So anyway, over the New York front, a lot of happenings as well. This is also part of the crazy places, just as Siversk. So Russian forces attacked Druzhba, Dilievka, as mentioned earlier, Toretsk, in the region of Toretsk, Zabalka region, which is the district of Toretsk, Skibinivka, Nelipivka, Leonidivka, Zukabalka, and Alexandropil. So you can see a massive amount of arrows around the Toretsk region, and this is also where massive frontline changes is now being reported. So now another very complicated mapping. So first thing first, I talk about the confirmed one. Russian forces confirmed to have captured this area. This is confirmed. And the Russian forces geolocated here. This is confirmed. And invalidation of all these grounds by DPA's, my judgment call, that the Russians have taken all these grounds. So these are confirmed. So now we have, and this area here, this is also confirmed. This is mapped by the Ukrainian mapping. So these are all confirmed captures. So now we talk about the non-confirmed one. The DivGen mapped this entire area as under Russian control. They also mapped this as Russian capture. And the thing is, Surya maps actually map it exactly the same way as DivGen. So this area here, as well as the rest of this area, is by both DivGen and Surya maps claiming that this is Russian capture. And Surya maps go even further, claiming this entire chunk of the central part of TORETSK as captured by the Russian forces. So how to digest all these things? These confirmed areas, the red ones, will be the Ukrainian mapping is going to be affected because these are all confirmed captures, at least based on DPA's perspective. Everything else is just going to be Russian claims, including the what, even if it's Surya maps mapped it, and then we will see whether it can be invalidated or validated later. So we shall see how this goes, but this is the situation right now in the TORETSK region. So if I go to draw the confirmed mapping, so that you can actually see clearer, this is now the recognized DP. This is the front line that DPA recognized right now. So this is the front line. Yeah, this is the current front line, and the Ukrainians are now being encircled in this area. You can see this area here is now encircled. This area is now encircled. So the Russian forces is going to pincer and close this, and any Ukrainian forces that is stuck within this area is going to be in deep trouble. But this is a very foggy front line, so I would say everything take a pinch of salt. The fog of war here is very thick, and we over in there is still fighting report at Nelipivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Very weird, and Russian Defense Ministry is already talking about Skibinivka and Leonidivka, and the Ukrainians did also mention Skibinivka. So the front line it must be really weird. So not sure how this is going to be digested. And we move into the Pokrovsk front. In the northern flank of the Pokrovsk front, we only have fighting reported at TORETSK and Mariolivivka. So that's all. And we swing over to the Pokrovsk region in the Novohrodivka region. So it's like this. So this is Pokrovsk. This is Minograd. And so Russian forces are attacking Promin. They are attacking towards Minograd. Fighting is reported at Krutya. Fighting is reported at Sukiya. Sukiya is also, sounds like a Japanese restaurant. And Lisivka and west of Novohrodivka. So Russians are pushing all around here. And I'm surprised that we still have fighting reported at Krutya, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, because this looks like an impossible salient to defend, but somehow they're still there. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And moving south at the Selidove region, Russian forces have made advance, confirmed by geolocation in the south of Selidove. Russian forces continue to be attacking Selidove. The exact direction of the attack is unknown. Geolocation of Russian forces in the forward position was geolocated. They are attacked by Ukrainian drones over this area here. So, which means the Russians are still, pretty much outside. I feel like the Russians have no need to storm Selidove just yet. I feel like they still need to, move around and maybe do this, do more of this first before they storm the city itself. If not, then the street-to-street fighting is going to be brutal for the Russians. So moving further south into the Khernik region. So at the Khernik region, this is Khernik, by the way, which is under Ukrainian control. Russian forces are fighting in the region of Sukhirine. They are attacking Novoselidivka, Izmailivka, Khernik. They are fighting at Kurakivka, as well as over at Hostre. So this is the current situation right here. There is a potential closing of this gap around here. Let me use another color. Which will cause the Ukrainian forces here to be encircled. But most likely they are retreating, and we shall see how this goes. Because the Ukrainians do sometimes make very weird decisions, and we're also not exactly 100% sure if this capture this Zoriane Perche, this capture is 100% confirmed. The Russian Defense Ministry did say that they captured this area, and also another issue is that this salient here, this capture, that cuts into the grounds between Novoselidivka and Izmailivka cannot be 100% confirmed because this is DivGen's mapping. So because everything that is mapped by DivGen is now under suspicion whether it's captured or not. So in that sense, I would want to drop this into orange. So just to keep track whether this is true. So I would not I have already changed the mapping on the Russian mapping, but I just want to leave it there. And so everything that's orange, we're just going to keep track and see whether we can corroborate it. But the problem with this is that it's going to be very hard to confirm, because the Russians are making progress. Even if you draw a polygon over Kiev, maybe one day Russia will reach there as well. So yeah, it's just a matter of time, right? No, a broken clock can be still correct twice a day. So over in the Khodakove sector, so just now as mentioned, Russian forces are attacking Khodakivka and fighting in the Khorostre region. Russians are also fighting in the Mesmelenivka region and Georgievka. So that is all for this area. I'm surprised there's no fighting reported at TORETSK. Yeah, looks like the Russians are still trying to shape the front line for a better way of attacking Khodakove, because this is a heavily defended settlement, so it's not easy to reach there. Over in this, yeah, how do I do this? Konstantinivka region. So this entire Voleda Konstantinivka region, Voleda is over here, by the way. This is Voleda. So Russian forces are fighting in the region of Konstantinivka. They are attacking Antonivka, Katerinivka, Vodiany region, and they are attacking towards Bohofyevlenka. Russian forces have taken grounds north of Voleda, and then they are moving. Of course we have first reported this before already. So Ukrainian forces attack at the entrance of Katerinivka. This is actually a TOS strike. So this is a thermobaric strike. So the defenders that is defending at the border houses of Katerinivka is now all dead, which is rather scary, because we are reaching a point where in this Ukraine war, you can't really fight defense right now for the Ukrainian side. Fighting defensive position, like you have a defensive position, they're just waiting to die. That is the current conundrum that the Ukrainians are facing, which is also why modern warfare was always believed to be maneuver warfare. No one believed in sitting in trenches until this Ukraine war happened, and suddenly everybody is surprised that the trench warfare is back. But prior to that, everybody believed in maneuver warfare. They believe that modern warfare is going to be very mobile, a lot of movement, is very tactical. Yeah, for this exact reason, because defensive positions can be destroyed very quickly with the advance of technology right now. And now we are seeing this unfold, because the Russians have catch up in terms of their technology with Western type air supremacy or air support operations. So yeah, tough luck. Fighting is reported in the Rivdone region. Most likely it's just shelling. I don't think it's actually attack. This is reported by the Russians. The Russians are attacking Rivnopil as well. Fighting is reported in the Zolota Neva region and also in the eastern part of Zolota Neva. Ukrainian mapping have updated their mapping to show the Russian forces have expanded their control along the river regions. So, but the lines, of course, is very straight, so it's very vague. And we shall see how this goes. Later, I will adjust this mapping, because the Ukrainians do claim the western part of Zolota Neva. So actually, I should do it now. So I have added this in case I forget, so that we can reflect the perspective of the Ukrainians that Zolota Neva is not fully under Russian control. So yeah, so that's all we have from this area, and so we move on to the Zaporizhia front. So this is Zaporizhia, and this is the Zaporizhia front. Fighting remains to be over on the western half of it. Fighting is reported over in Kayamsky, Serebianki, Piatikaki, towards Novodanilivka and Robotine. So this is the two major areas that there is fighting being reported. So that's about it. Nothing particularly very special to talk about. Kayamsky, I believe Surya Maps map it a little bit differently, if I didn't remember wrongly, but we shall see. We'll slowly ease in the report, the mapping by Surya Maps. I don't want to one time to just map in everything from Surya Maps. because I will still need to verify their mapping as well over time. So because it's been a long time since I used their mapping, so we shall see how this goes. And over in the Kherson front, at the Kherson front, the Ukrainians still talk about Pridniprovsk direction. They say that the Russians are attacking Ukrainian positions in this area. So shelling is being reported at Dnipropetrovsk as well as Lvov, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. But otherwise, that's about it. So anyway, thank you for watching. This is the summary for the day of 959 for the 9th of October. So subscribe because this is the DPA War channel. The algorithm is biased based on the subscriber count. So the lower your subscriber base is, the less competitive you can against the other competitors. And that's just how it works. It doesn't mean that your video is good, you will go very far. Actually, it doesn't work this way. No longer works this way. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next update.